Hello students, today we are going to study the frog and the nightingale, and it is written by Vikram Seth. Main characters in this poetry are frog, nightingale and the members of the bog, Bengal bog. Now let me give you some sort of introduction about the poet Vikram Seth. Vikram Seth was born in Calcutta in 1952 and he was a shoe company executive and Leela Seth a judge. Vikram Seth is the eldest of three children in the Seth family. A brilliant student right from his days in Doon School, Vikram passed his O-level exams with distinction. Later, he went on to study at Tonbridge School, Kent, and Oxford University in England, and Stanford University in the USA. Now, I want to tell about the poem. The Frog and the Nightingale is an allegory having a participation of more than half a dozen birds and animals like ducks, herons, loons, toads, teals, tiddlers, etc. The poem lays bare the manipulation and hypocrisy of the unscrupulous, scheming people who resort to all underhand means to survive and thrive in the competitive world. Then, and the poem is a spoof on the present society. The moral of the poem is that being inspired and influenced by someone much unknown and strange is indeed a foolish act. The nightingale could have very well judged how could the frog with such a harsh voice be music maestro, and she had to suffer for her misjudgment. Many people in the human society also try to take advantage of the innocence or ignorance of many people. The moral is that if you want to succeed, you must have self-confidence in your abilities, even if you are exceptionally talented. Talent alone does not ensure success because a poor self-image of yourself can be self-destructive. Now let's come to the summary of the poem. Summary of the poem. First of all, we have to remember that it is a common language that frog's voice is the most cacophonous. Cacophonous means harsh, cacophonous and unmusical, while the nightingale's voice is the melodious one. However, in this poem, the frog thinks that its voice is the most melodious one. However, as soon as a nightingale so obviously famous for its melodious voice arrives on the scene and begins entertaining the other animals, the frog became jealous and decides to eliminate the nightingale. He does this by subtly making the nightingale doubt its own abilities and even suggesting that it will train her. The poor gullible bird is completely deceived and allows herself to be exploited by the pompous frog, finally leading to her death. The poem gives the message that the magic formula for success is self-confidence. The poet Vikram Seth very cleverly gives us a message of the importance of self-confidence and moral courage in this poem, The Frog and the Nightingale. Once in a bog, a frog sat under a sumac tree, a tree, and croaked all night. Croak, quack, quack. croaked all the night, making harsh voices all the night, and unpleasant voice also. The other creatures disliked his voice, but their complaints, insults, brickbats couldn't stop him from croaking stubbornly and pompously. He was croaking stubbornly and causing disturbance a lot. Then, one night, a nightingale appears at the bog. Her melodious voice captures the admiring attention of the creators of the Bengal bog. Ducks and herons swim towards the sumac tree after they hear the nightingale sing. When she stops, there is thunderous applause with the creators demanding a repeat performance. One lonely creature even weeps hearing her song. It was a jealous frog who, disturbed by the intrusion of a challenging rival, listens to the nightingale dumbstruck. He was completely taken aback by the voice of the nightingale. Next night, when the modest bird prepares to sing, the plotting frog interrupts and, posing as a music critic, says that her technique of singing is fine, but it lacks some energy. He says that you are singing so nicely, but there is a lack of some energy. Unassuming and not used to any kind of criticism, she defends herself by saying that the song is at least her composition. She didn't take that song from anywhere else, she made it herself. The heartless frog convinces the nightingale that she was in need of training that only he could provide. And the nightingale, lacking in confidence and extremely gullible, agrees and flatters him, saying that he was a Mozart in disguise. And the frog capitalized on the nightingale's servile attitude and said that he would charge a modest fee, which could not harm her. The frog said to the nightingale that he'll charge a modest fee that will not be very high. She will be able to pay the fee. The nightingale soon became famous and the frog grew richer, earning money from her concerts. Eminent personalities like the owl of Sandwich and the duck of Kent attended concerts. The frog sat and watched with mixed feelings of happiness and bitterness. Both happiness and bitterness. The feeling of the frog was more both happy and bitter, sweet and bitter. When the opposite words with the word end, with the connecting word end comes in any of the poetry, it is happy because he was earning money and jealous because the bird was receiving so much attention. Meanwhile, the frog makes the nightingale rears hard, even when it rained constantly and criticized and abused her, ensuring that she became broken and fired and spent her voice to sing. She lost her beauty and the creatures stopped coming to hear her song. Dull and depressed, she refused to sing, but the frog goaded her to practice. Scared and unhappy, the nightingale tried to sing, burst a vein, and died. Frog, unsympathetic, dismissed her off, calling her stupid. A shrewd judge of character, he summed her up saying that the nightingale was too nervous and prone to influence, hence bringing her own downfall. Now the frog once more sings at night in his bog, unrivaled. Why unrivaled? Because now he is not having any rivalry in the bog who can give rival to the frog. Now there are two questions which are dependent on this poem that you have to attend. Question number 1. You have to attempt a character portrayal of the frog on the basis of reading of the poem. Another question is, how can you say that the poem, The Frog and the Nightingale is a spoof on the present society where success is determined by influence and not by talent. Comment on it. Then, except these questions, you have to write the literary figures used in some literary figures which are used in the poem are alliteration, antithesis. Alliteration is bingle, bog. When two consonant sounds repeat, it is called alliteration. And antithesis, as I told you, sweet and bitter. When two opposite words are used together with the conjunction and, it is called antithesis. Now that's all about the poem. Thank you.